Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be playing a demo of a game by Black Tabby Games called Slay the Princess. I'm not sure how long the demo is, but I know there's new achievements because I have played this before. I've played it last year or last August. But it's fun. It's like a choose your own adventure visual novel kind of thing. And the creators of the game also made a really cool visual novel called Scarlet Hollow, so I suggest checking that out as well. Both of the game's links will be in the description. Yeah, but there are quite a few achievements. I would like to try to get those if possible. I'm trying to get the game to, oh, there it goes. Content warning. This is a horror game and is not intended for all audiences. Oh. Please visit our website, blacktabbygames.com, if you need a full list of content warnings. Oh, I will put that up on screen. So, don't play the game. I think that's a glitch. Where I think it's supposed to play it in, I don't know, full screen is not. Okay. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess. I think this is also...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
But yeah, this is what the game is like. There's options up here. Explore. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution. I butchered that. Silently continue to the cabin, or turn around and leave. Let's do this and see what happens.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Okay. Let's just... Look, I'll go to the cabin, I'll talk to her, and if she's bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face. Okay, I'm sold, let's get this over with. Let's just say this.
Good. As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing.
Now, I haven't played this in a year, so I don't remember what happened. I also don't know how to get the other achievements.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
I may make another video, or depending on how long this is, getting the other achievements.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Oh, the cursor changed. That's cool. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I'm going to save. Oh yeah. I can see my other saves. It's doing an empty slot.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi, just checking in on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you. Let's continue down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to
Just be
reason.
silent.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Let's just stay
You step
quiet.
forward,
I'll
your grip
talk
on the
on
blade
mine
tightening as you steel your resolve.
second playthrough.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Be sure she's not armed. Let's just try and do this first and see what happens.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Of course it is, she's dead. I'm not sure. I feel like she has some kind of trick up her sleeve. Of course not, that was too easy. Yeah, it was too easy.
It's over. Don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
Oh, I didn't want to do that.
I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Let's just move. I don't want to touch her. Let's move on.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Yeah, let's leave.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of space.
Are we in the... I wonder if the cabin's in like a separate, like another void or something.
What happened?
Exactly. What happened?
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
I was kind of hoping I'd get a better ending. We're saving the world. Oh, okay. Let me out of here. Let's do this one.
What's done is done, and there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
I don't trust you. I don't trust the narrator. Okay.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey, we're not just going to stay here forever, right?
Of course we are. I like it here. Hello. Do you have any idea how to get us the heck out of here? Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy. Let's just listen to the narrator this round.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
No, we're happy, I'm sure, but... okay, maybe I'm not happy, and I'm not just saying that because of the last person I talked to.
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Hey, I've got the good ending. You did it. You saved everyone. To be continued. Ooh, there's 10 routes and 1 ending to find in the demo. Ooh. Well, let's continue. Oh yeah, it was voiced by Nicole Goodnight and Jonathan Sims. I don't know who they are, but they're good voice actors. I watch your channel. Let's keep going. Oh, I should have.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end you're here to
Let's just silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through with ignore him.
I'm gonna do the same thing again, except check her pulse.
The interior of the cab, the blade is your...
I'm gonna take the blade.
You take the blade.
Sorry, I know I'm skipping stuff, but...
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room. Her voice carries.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you.
Let's just be quiet.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so... Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Let's just stay quiet.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? She's unarmed. If you hesitate...
Let's slay the princess again.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily...
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
The hardest start will come.
It's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
This one.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that. You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one. We definitely won't if you keep talking. I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question? Wait, what was that? You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat. followed by another. And another.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the
Oops,
mortally
I took a
wounded
screenshot.
princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. Why did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you. For whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay, now this is where I was when I paused the video and forgot to unpause it. Hint.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I guess this is easy to get back to.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Are we sure we don't want to turn around and hightail it out of here? I really don't want to be stabbed to death again. Stabbed to death? And you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed. But that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us. Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
Let's proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. No, we can't go in there. Do either of you feel sick? Because I feel sick just thinking about that place. We're going to die again, and I bet it's going to hurt. It's good to be careful, but you're really not helping with all that talk about death and dying. Agreed. Just ignore that clown and stay focused.
Proceed to the cabin. Let's see.
The interior of the
Ooh.
cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Explore. You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
I'm gonna save, because I can come back to this save.
Can you two stop arguing? It's stressful enough in here without all of this noise.
I care about whether I'm being lied to. I want to look at myself and want to see how handsome I am. You're right, it doesn't matter. Remain silent, approach the mirror. Let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
I'm scared. Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
Oh, we
I
got
hope
the
you know how
achievement.
ridiculous you look right now.
Oh, the mirror wasn't there.
It was there a second ago. Now it's gone. For the love of everything, can we just get this over with already? All this waiting is killing me.
Okay, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay. Holding it feels a little better. Maybe we can make it through this.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. That's right! Scraping! I told you she has something! I told you! That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
Is something wrong with that voice? I can hear her bloodlust. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Probably.
Finally, somebody, quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
We're not falling for it. She's tricking us. Can't you hear that threatening edge to her voice? She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down. Then it'll all happen again. If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
I'm gonna save again.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Yeah. No. Ah. Oops. Okay. Oh, a razor. That honestly scared me. To be continued. What achievements have we gotten so far? Okay, got a new recording going, and let's start again.
You're on a path in the...
What? The end of the world, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know
I
it.
did this already.
No.
Never mind. But how can a princess locked away in the basement in the world?
Don't linger on the specifics.
Yeah.
You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Look, I'll go to the cabin, talk to her. If she's as bad as you say, then maybe... Yeah, let's do this.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
I want to save here. You know, I'm saving, but then I don't come back to the saves. Welcome back to this save.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Mm-hmm.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No way, why did you even think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me, I'm gonna kill you. No. I haven't decided yet, I'm just here to talk. Still your nerves and step forward. Let's do I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
Okay.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare.
I will.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Let's drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yes, pretty awkward. A relationship. Are you coming on to me? How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're going to end the world. It's a lot of options. There's people out there who think you're a threat to the world. What do you have to say about that? What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Okay, we've talked enough. Let's do that relationship, this one.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Mm-hmm. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm going to.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife
her
to good
face
use.
changed.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Okay.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
We talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I can come back to these choices. I'm getting you out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have...
Oops. They wouldn't have just left the key to a chain somewhere in the cabin. And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas besides me cutting you out here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
But okay.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Okay.
You won't like what happens if you do
I don't care. I'm gonna do it. Save the princess or slay the princess? Save.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Okay. Approach the locked door. I don't trust her.
We won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Slay the princess, slay the princess, slay the princess. Warn her, slay the princess. Warn her.
Stop that.
No.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
Also, we're like a bird person. I just noticed that.
Stop it! Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Slay the princess. I'm gonna resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Chapter 2, The Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this happened already? Okay, no. I died. What am I doing here? Bastard, you're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks. Hasn't this happened already?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Oh, to get the second chapter you did die. Oh, that makes sense.
The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
Let's talk about the princess.
Just be quick about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her. All she did was slit my throat. How is she supposed to end the world? Who locked her in that basement, and what is that place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets.
Ooh, check pockets.
Put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side. You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
Am I wasting save slots? Yes, but I want to continue. You're being cagey. Why aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh. Didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
Okay.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Okay.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy
There's a
woodland
mirror.
retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
This whole cabin is different from the last time.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
I'm gonna approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Let's
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks
I like the
open,
flame
revealing an
effects.
old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Also, I'm not using a guide for any of these achievements because, like, the update came out today as recording. Sorry. As of recording this, it is Tuesday, March 21st.
Does she remember us? You
Oh,
walk
hi.
down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless. That was there last time too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Okay, so that was the prisoner. Let us go back to... Oops. Let's go back to this save. Oh, nope, I'm gonna load. I wanna see what happens if we choose, just to
Without
slay her.
hesitation, you bring the blade down. The princess flinches as you strike and your weapon sinks into her shoulder.
You bastard. If I have to kill you to leave this place, I'll do it.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see that razor sharpness in her gaze? I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's unarmed and there's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you raise your blade to strike again, she kicks out, knocking your legs out from under you. The two of you struggle on the ground. You lash out with the blade, slicing wherever you can. Her fists connect with your body again and again, each blow stronger than the last, shattering bone and rupturing tissue with reckless abandon. Forget trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. You roll out of her grasp and shakily push yourself
my
back
hand
to your
is moving.
feet. Though every inch of you is in pain, the princess probably has it worse. Blood pours out from countless gashes, staining her once pristine dress. She pauses for a moment, catching her breath, staring at you with wild eyes. We can still turn this around.
Let me come back to that. Because there's 3 options. Finish the job.
You steel your resolve and take another step towards the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What was that about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
Two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun. You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
No.
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time to worry over her words. Everything goes black, and you die.
Yes, okay, I'm glad I went back to the save then.
You're on a path in the woods.
So just save
and
whenever
at the end of
there's
that
multiple
path
options.
is a cabin.
I've learned that now. Cool.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's just proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal. Let's just get on with it already. The cabin is tighter
Ooh.
than its exterior would suggest.
I'm ignoring the
Its
mirror
cold
because only for
stone
that one
walls press in
achievement,
on you,
and
as
I
if
got
trying
it
to
already.
forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
And to the basement. But yeah, the mirror is only for an achievement, so.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
We already had a fight, and you died.
As you descend the final step,
I
the
like her
form of the
design.
princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Oh, she knows.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes! I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
The adversary. And we got another achievement. This option. We already got the achievement. Yeah, we already got the achievement. So. Let's give up.
As the force of her blows overwhelms your body, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering uselessly to the cobblestones below. I suppose you just lacked the will to finish the job. The princess, wounded but still alive, stands to face you. She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you to the ground. Her knee slides to your throat and your windpipe is crushed under weight you didn't think her frame could possibly possess.
Pathetic.
This is the end, isn't it? Everything goes black, and you die.
The tower. Cool, I'm getting better at figuring out what endings
You're
are
on
what.
a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's just proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
Okay.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. That isn't what she looked like last time. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that. And yet you did. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Sure.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
That's a cool design. The tower. Let's go back to the save. Oops. Load. Let's go back here and run for the stairs and lock her in the basement.
The princess is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she can do to stop you from getting out of here. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is, she's so much more dangerous than I thought she'd be. You rush up the stairs and dive past the threshold. You're safe. For now. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, We can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door I'll hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Threaten me all you want. All it does is ease my guilty conscience. Whatever you are, you're not a princess. Go ahead and waste your energy. I'll be waiting for you. Just ignore her and go to sleep.
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it.
Sure.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Oh.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer,
Get away from me.
one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame.
You're too
If you'd
close.
only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The nightmare.
You're on a path. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's just proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
just proceed to the cabin. This recording is going on for almost an hour, but this entire video is going to be
The
long.
interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door?
Yeah, good question. Where's the door?
It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Take the blade.
You reach down and pick the blade up off. Good. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife? Could we have a bomb?
That would be fun.
The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
Let's just enter the basement.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mentioned the eyes.
Oh, there are eyes. I just noticed it. Ugh.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
We have a knife. How hard is it to throw a knife? I'm gonna talk to her. We don't need a plan. I'm just gonna kill her. Mr. Narity seems to think I can do it. I don't know why you're all being such pessimists right now. Step off into the void between the stairs. Let me save, because this seems important. I'm going to step off the void into the stairs and see what happens.
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen?
Can I do it again? I don't know, falling into an infinite void, it seemed better than going downstairs and dying. I'm just scared. I was curious.
How would falling into an infinite void be better than anything? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness.
Their eyes.
A smattering of cobblestones, visible against the inky black of the basement, mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Go left, go right, do nothing, go back the way you came. Let's go left.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are.
Oh.
I told you I was going to find you.
Hi.
As the princess approaches,
Yeah.
your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you brought your little knife with you again. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
A nightmare. To be continued. Okay. Okay, I didn't notice this. If you left the screen long enough, it does this. I started this recording, but I'm at to pause it right away, so I'll be right back. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it on this intro screen, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just gonna start a new game. Because I think there's something I need to do.
You're on a path in the woods.
What if we just turn around and leave?
Seriously?
Yes.
You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
No. Lie, yes, I definitely know where I'm going.
Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
No, I'm gonna turn around and leave
You're
again.
really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yes.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Okay, I'm not killing the princess. Good, maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me into the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. Quietly continue down the path.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
There's no fighting this, is there? I have to go into the cabin, don't I? Fine. Oh yeah, well, I guess I'm gonna start walking in a different direction again. In fact, I'm gonna keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place. Let's do that one.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go.
Oh, the
As you
cabin's
trudge into the
there.
woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of
Oh, the music is
familiar wooden
changing.
structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness, but it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Ooh, I got the stranger. Yay, I was kinda wondering how to get that
You're on
one.
a path in the woods,
Oh, there's
and
a
at
wall.
the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yep, okay, heading to the cabin now. I'm definitely gonna slay that princess.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
Okay.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is odd, the air smelling faintly of plastic, the wood of the walls fitting together at uncomfortable angles. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table, its legs all the wrong lengths. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? I, for one, would rather have it. We don't really know what we're dealing with here. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save... Okay, fine, you took the knife. But you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
Let's keep the grip as is.
Great. You keep your grip the way it is. Your task awaits.
Oops. Enter the base. There is an option.
The door to the basement
No,
creaks open, revealing a staircase
I can't go
built from
back
an
and save it.
unidentifiable and featureless material. The steps barely seem to fit together, and upon closer inspection, they barely seem to go anywhere at all, let alone down. The air here has an
There's an
almost
option to
artificial
knife out the
quality to
window,
it,
and I missed it.
the scent of plastic from the cabin mingling with a cocktail of chemical odors. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs, its multitonal lilt adding to the already uneasy atmosphere.
Hello.
Oh no.
Is someone there?
I don't like her voice.
This
I don't know why I'm whispering.
isn't what I expected her to sound like. What is she? Well, she's not a princess, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
She is a princess. Don't let your imagination run wild.
Let's just continue down the
Good.
stairs.
You're still listening to reason.
Uh-huh.
It takes you a moment to orient yourself before you're able to start moving forward.
Oh, what happened to my computer? Everything
As you enter
good?
the next
Okay.
room, the form of the princess comes into view, her wrist bound to the far wall in heavy shackles. She locks eyes with you, one moving a little faster than the other, the loose skin of her face stretching into something resembling a smile.
Is that company? We don't remember the last time we had company.
Smiling face.
Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you
It
imagine?
was you.
Why are you just standing there? Are you scared of us?
Yes, you can't see my face right now, but I'm like my... scrunched up with a stranger. Let me try this again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of
Let me go to the cabin.
you make your way up.
I wonder what happens if we don't take the knife this time. I'm gonna...
The interior of the blade is your implement.
Let's just
Good.
continue.
You're still listening to
quietly down the
reason.
stairs.
It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
I want to try to get another ending.
You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'm gonna check upstairs. Maybe the key is still lying around somewhere up there, and if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay, I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the... You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
Will this make a difference? Well, let's get the other ending.
You cut into her
Let's
flesh.
see.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Aha! I got the damsel. I was just about to give up.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
This is going to be a long episode, but I want to get all of the achievements.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If only you knew what you did to us, you villain. Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love. Last time? What are you talking about? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
I should have saved where we were able to throw the knife out the window.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
I'm gonna save. And then I think don't take the blade, I think.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
No.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
I was so worried about you. You remember me, right?
Mm-hmm. The damsel. Guess we got that. And so close. I don't know how to get the other ones. I think I know how to get this one if I... Yeah, for that one, I just need to redo the game again. I can do this still. Though, I mean, this episode is gonna be so long. So I think to get the stranger, we need to...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Seriously? You're just going to... Fine. I suppose you could. What we're being asked to do. You're really keen on wasting...
Yep.
Your silence is definite. There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now...
Okay, so I got... to the right ending, I think.
A warning before you go any further. The interior of the cabin is odd. The air smelling faintly of plastic, the wood of...
Take the blade.
You take the blade from... Okay, fine, you took the knife. But you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way. It really doesn't matter.
Oh, I think I messed up. How do you get the option to throw the blade out the window? Man.
You switch your grip on the blade. Yes! Isn't this so much better? Okay, fine. You're right. It really doesn't matter. Just get on.
Aha. Here it is. Throw the blade out the window.
Haha! Yes! Do it! Seriously?
Yay, got it. Okay, got that achievement. Yay.
You throw the blade at the window, the glass shattering as it flies out into the night. I suppose... You're on a path in...
Consider the cabin.
You make your way up.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost...
Take the
You
knife.
take
Enter the basement.
the door. Her voice.
Who's there?
And let's skip. Continue down the
Good.
stairs.
You're still listening to reason.
Still your nerves.
You step forward.
Forwards. Just slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment. You feel flesh...
That was too easy.
Over.
Skip. You're right. Let's get out of
Yes,
here.
exactly. It's...
Skip. Leave.
You open the cabin door. Read only a world...
This is what I got in the beginning. Okay.
So glad you're keeping an open mind.
Do you have an idea how to get out of here?
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
This is the specter.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
Terrible sense of deja.
Terrible sense of death. If he doesn't remember what happened, then that's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Yeah, I just hold the cap.
A warning. She will lie. She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? A ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went. Like how you murdered me?
The specter. And I think we have 2 more to go? Yeah, 2 more. It's taken me since 225 to get the endings. 2 hours, which I don't mind. I'm having fun with the game, even though it doesn't sound like it. And just like, I'm having fun, but I'm not used to recording this long. The hardest ones to get, I have like somewhat of a guide that lets me figure out how to get these two, but this one is hard because I have to befriend the princess and then betray her without killing her. I think this one we're supposed to...
Are you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the cobblestone floor, the blade falls from your trembling hands and clatters uselessly against the ground. I suppose you simply lacked the will to finish the job. The princess, wounded but still alive, nervously jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating to a dark corner.
That's why I saved.
Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out. We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside world.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer, everything goes black, and you die.
Okay, so I got the beast ending.
You're on a path. You're here to A warning. She will lie. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Let's go to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. No blade? Do Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes.
Mm-hmm.
The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet,
Oh, so it's
as
like
if you're descending into a jungle.
Oh, yeah, jungle.
If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
A chain rattles in the underbrush, and as its links drag across the floor, you see pieces of her move in and out of the shadows. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. She emerges, her shining eyes and glistening claws visible in the gloom, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
Oh, hi. The beast. Okay, the last one we have to get is... the witch, and the guide that I'm looking at is a bit confusing. Start it again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Get out. To go through.
You make your way up.
I was gonna skip.
The interior of the blade is your...
So don't take the knife.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air
Lie.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble, but it might work.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist.
Oops.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
Okay, I figured out how to get the ending. I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
So skip. Gonna go upstairs.
Okay.
Turn.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Slay the princess.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it
I
into
hope
the
this works.
princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done. You steel your resolve. Excuse me? Do you think this is what...
Finish
Can you
the
not feel all
job.
those gashes and holes? You take another step. The two of you enter one last exit. You collapse on the ground. And the
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another...
Oh, I got it! Yay! I didn't also.
you're on a path.
I didn't mean to skip. But then this is it. You're totally mistaken one way or another. I'll make sure you pay for this. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to skip it, but I got the ending.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
No.
No blade. Hope you know what you're getting us into. It'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Sure about that? Say nothing.
Silence, I see. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I recognized the sound of your nervous little footsteps as soon as they came into my home. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else.
No.
She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend
That's
the
a
basement
cool
steps,
effect.
entering the dark room below. A fire crackles in the center of the room, casting unsettling shadows across the dirt walls. The princess crouches on the other side.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
And that is all of the achievements. That took not way too long. It's 3 hours. As of recording this, and see, we got all of the achievements. Right here. We got all of them. 19 out of 19. 4.5 hours. Ooh, but it was fun. Exhausting, but fun, and I got like 3 or 4 videos to edit into one, which will be fun and exhausting, but I'm gonna do it. That should be up. I'm gonna have it go up on Thursday, and just not really worry about recording videos for next week, because I still need to pack for my trip out of the country. But yeah, if you like what you see. I will be doing more, probably more visual novels, and The Sims hopefully will continue sometime soon. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.